Howdy folks, it's Calm Conservative here. I just wanted to do a quick video about this new sovereign nation in the United States. It's in the northeastern portion of the United States on the west coast. It's called CHAZ, Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. If you don't know what this is, there were some Antifa, communist, left-leaning groups that took over a police precinct in Seattle, Washington. They took over this precinct after the police basically just pulled out of the area. They took over that in 6 blocks. So there are residents that live in this sovereign nation of Chaz. And there's also businesses. I haven't heard of any super violent happenings here in Chaz as of yet. Maybe they're censoring the media, or maybe they're a closed off totalitarian state. But there has been apparently some intimidation of some businesses requesting to be paid. There have been some armed people guarding checkpoints. Yes, they do have borders and checkpoints in the sovereign country of Chaz. It's ironic that these liberal individuals want to have borders of their country, but they don't want borders for the United States. So let's read a little bit of this. In Seattle, a group of peaceful protesters have cornered off several city blocks and established the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, a sort of protest haven where artists paint murals, speakers discuss topics of racial equity, snacks are handed out for free, and virtually no police are in sight. Donald Trump has branded the protest society as a group of ugly anarchists and domestic terrorists. The city's mayor's obviously doesn't agree with this. It's patriotism, she's saying. Mayor Jenny Durkin. The group gathered after Seattle police abandoned a precinct at the Capitol Hill neighborhood on Monday and effectively handed the area over to the protesters. So, it goes on, and this has origins in, this is kind of on the tail end of the George Floyd protests and all of this, and we've covered that in detail. So, what do I take away from this? One of the things that I spoke with some of my friends was that this is sort of similar to, not exactly, but it has some similar connotations to the Bundy Ranch standoff. If you don't know what that is, a couple years ago there was a land dispute between Clyde Bundy and the United States government, and there was armed protesters, right-leaning conservative individuals who showed up and basically backed down the government in that way. And so that was for a land dispute. This is seizing public land, 100% public land. And in the Bundy thing, I guess is a little bit of a gray area. But here, obviously, this is the property of Seattle, people of Seattle, and they're just seizing it. This looks to be a community set up. There's tents, there's free food, there's games, and it's almost like a commune. Whereas the Bundy Ranch was, I don't think it was that long. We don't know how long Chaz is going to last, but point is, it seems like people are getting braver and braver these days to stand up for what they believe, which I support that. I support the First Amendment. I think that it's always healthy to keep the government in check and to show the government that we won't stand down, that we will fight for what we believe in, in peaceful ways, obviously. Fight with our speech is what I'm getting at. And so I admire these people in Chaz in a certain light. However, I'm sure that anyone who lives there is not happy with this. I would not want to live in Chaz. I would want to live in the United States. I wouldn't want a sovereign nation to invade and take over my living space. So this is a really interesting development. And obviously, liberal news networks, CNN, MSNBC, they're not even touching this. They're talking about police brutality and how police are, just evil demons. So, anyways, tell me what you guys think about this. How long will the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone stay intact? Will it form a government? Will they have their own totalitarian leader? Will they have their own little rocket man? Tell me what you think about it. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe below. Let's get this channel going, guys. Thanks.